Hi, and welcome to Finest Women in Real Estate. We are glad you're back with us today. We've got a fantastic lineup today for you. Sitting just to my right, I have Melissa Tucci. She is a real estate broker with Coldwell Banker West. She is the #1 agent in California and in the top 10 in the United States. Welcome, Melissa. It's good to have you here.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Next to Melissa today we have Bethany. Bethany Cummins is from Pacific Coast Title. She's an account executive, works in Orange County and San Diego, and we're excited that she's with us today to share what she knows. Bethany, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And on the end down there we have Jeff. Jeff Brogger is a founder and CEO of Steezy.Digital. What is Steezy.Digital, you ask? Well, we're going to find out in just a minute when Jeff shares that with us. We're excited he's with us. Thank you, Jeff, for being with us today.
Thanks, Steve.
This is Finest Women in Real Estate, and you ask yourself, Steve, are you one of the finest women in real estate? I said, I am with one of the finest women in real estate, and I've got two of the finest resources with us today. And I feel like one of the finest being here today with you. This is just real people having real talk about real estate. Thank you for joining us. Talking today, we're going to talk a little bit about marketing. For the real estate people out there, you know marketing is probably the biggest topic you deal with. How do you get out there? How do you get your name known? How do you differentiate yourself from all the other different agents that are out there and the other brokers? Well, we have three experts today. They're going to help you figure that out. I'm going to start with you today, Melissa. Now, you have your own unique marketing program you've put together. It leans heavily towards the modern, towards the digital, towards multimedia. Explain to us what you do and how that works for you.
Sure. So I use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. I do Facebook booths. I do Facebook Live podcasts. I am a premier member on Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com. And I really feel that you need to be present in all of those spaces because buyers now, sellers, everyone looks at things before they even contact their agent. So you really want to have your name out there on all of that social medium, as well as I still do print advertising. I am affiliated with another television show. I still advertise on the radio. So it's a full package, but I do heavily specialize on the digital side of it as well.
That sounds like a phenomenal amount of work, Melissa. How do you fit that in and still manage to be a real estate agent?
It's a systematic situation at this point. So now all the systems are set up and it's 1, 2, 3. Once I have a new listing, I just know what I'm doing. It's not, I'm winging it. So I've, done so much work over the years figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And now knowing what works, I just plug it in to the next new property and then off I go, and it doesn't take that much effort because it's already in place.
Okay, so now that is using all the modern tools that we have available to really get yourself out there and be known. And that it's very, very effective. But not everybody does it that way. Now, some people still use the old school approach. And Bethany, I want to turn to you because I know that you have a kind of a specialist in using more of the old school high touch approaches. And I want you to explain how you use that to build your brand and your name and what you do in the business and how that works.
Well, working in title and escrow, I work heavily with real estate agents, and many of them are like Melissa, where they are in the high-touch tech side of things. But then there's other agents that they don't maybe have the resources to be able to put themselves out there, and they might just be starting their business. They might just be trying to build their brand. And so they need to make maybe a different approach where they actually have to go face-to-face. So a lot of things, what I encourage them to do is to really put themselves out in the community. And instead of trying to make them into something that they're not, to actually look at what they enjoy doing, whether it is that they're a soccer mom, whether they love going to the gym, whether they're part of a nonprofit or something part of the neighborhood, to get involved and actually use their actual neighborhood in their day-to-day life as part of their farm and part of building their business. And so instead of saying, I'm a realtor, sell your house or buy with me, they can actually do things like they can do a blanket drive for the homeless around Christmas time. We're in that time right now. It could also be that they might do just something if they're a soccer mom, they could actually take pictures of the kids and then send them to all the family members. But then underneath they might have that they are a real estate. So kind of in a more subtle way to let the community know that they are a real estate agent.
Okay, so the people that say, I don't have time to do all these meetings and events and all the time to go market my business and all the time to do the business, you're saying kill two birds with one stone and use your social and your altruistic elements of your life to actually do marketing.
Absolutely. I mean, basically, marketing does statistics actually support the fact that your circle of influence is going to be your greatest asset when you're doing your marketing. So it's like within your church, within your community, within your own family. But you do have to remind them what you're doing. So without shoving it down their throat, you can just very subtly just say little things about what you're doing, which actually pairs with doing LinkedIn and doing Facebook, where you might be just showing what you're doing in your day-to-day life as a realtor.
And that was going to be my next question. Go back to Melissa, is that sounds like content for what you need to do. So explain to us how you can capture all that again and try to leverage using the same effort and the same time to get all this done.
Right. So for instance, I'm on a fundraising committee for a softball league. And so I, being the official agent of the Padres, I was able to get one of the players to come to that fundraiser and help the girls with their batting practice. And so from that, I actually created a video and put it on all of my social media. And then I had clients, because it wasn't about real estate, but it basically was a story, and it makes you seem real, and it's an exciting event. And so things like that is where, again, you don't want to like say, I'm a real estate broker, use me. It's, I'm a person that knows what I'm doing, I'm professional, I could help you get this done, but you show it in a different way, and that's what social media is about.
Okay. Now, Jeff has a unique platform that he's put together, the Steezy.Digital, and it kind of ties together what Bethany and what Melissa are saying, where we can transition from the digital world to create the personal connection. So we're going to get into that after the break, but I want you to give us just your real quick summary of what that looks like, and we're going to get deeper into it when we come back. So give us a quick summary.
Sure thing. So the biggest value addition that we've found that we can offer to top 1% real estate brokers is transferring all the digital and all the things Melissa mentioned and make it into more of a personal connection that Bethany has really built her business around. So we can transfer the digital, the Facebook, the Instagram, and everything into a conversation and make that connection.
Fantastic. So we can come full circle on using both the digital and the interpersonal marketing on that. Yeah. Okay, we're going to get deeper into that, because I'm curious to see how all that works, right, and how it's set up and what the deal is. But first, I want to make a quick announcement. Jeff is one of our Real Men of Real Estate. That's a new show coming up that you're going to be seeing January 18th for the first time, and then airing regularly in February. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back, and we're going to talk some more about how we market.
Hey guys, how are you today? Good. I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius, and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
I'm John Ruff, owner of Ruff & Ready Moving and Storage. Wherever you're moving, our team is eager to assist you with all your moving and storage needs. You can count on us to pack and handle your personal belongings with care. We also provide both temporary and long-term storage for your household or office goods. For more information or to schedule a free in-home estimate, visit us at ruffandreadymoving.com or call us today. From down the street to across the country, if your move is too tough, call Ruff.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to the Finest Women in Real Estate. I'm your host, Steve Matley. Just to reintroduce you to our wonderful guest we have today, we are joined with Melissa Tucci. She is a real estate broker with Coldwell Banker West, and as she mentioned, she is the official realtor to the San Diego Padres. We have Bethany Cummins sitting next to her from Pacific Coast Title, and on the end, and it's who we're going to start our conversation with right now, that is Jeff Brogger. He is the founder and CEO of Steezy.Digital and one of our Real Men of Real Estate, a show that's going to be coming up on this same network starting in January. So Jeff, we briefly touched on it before the break.
Yep.
You have a digital platform you've set up that kind of ties the ultra digital world of marketing into the interpersonal world of marketing. So I want you to go in a little more detail and explain how that works. And I also want you to touch on, are we getting too far away digitally and moving away from actually working with real people?
Great question, Steve. So we created Steezy.Digital not to eliminate the agent, but actually to facilitate the conversation that agents are already having with their ideal clients. And the way that we do that is we actually dive a lot into the Facebook Messenger marketing world, because we fundamentally believe that the one message to many people kind of blast method of marketing that we've been accustomed to for the last couple decades is now coming to an end, or at least a transition, because there's a new way. There's a way to have one-on-one communications with your clients and have it on a scalable level. So part of our system is that we help to create a automated infrastructure, and we create a Facebook Messenger chatbot. It's going to go over a lot of people's heads, but basically what that helps to do is provide value to the person who's reaching out, specific to what they're asking for in the moment. And instead of sending it through email, it's sent through Facebook Messenger. And so that has a lot higher open rates, a lot more interaction based on the users to our brokers and agents. And honestly, there's so much noise out there with marketing today, it really cuts through and helps to facilitate the communication, get that appointment, right? Get the ball rolling in the beginning, as well as nurture along the way. And so our purpose really is not to eliminate the agent, it's 100% to handle all the digital things that are happening, take it off their plate so they don't really have to worry about it as much, and facilitate those conversations with their clients.
Okay. And now I did receive a mass message from the Hormel Corporation. I did not open it because I thought it was spam. So, all right. I wanted to go to the next. I want to go to the next topic on this, and he kind of alluded to the idea of eliminating the real estate agent. Is that possible in our world? So many people talk about going online, and there's these advertisements for 1% commissions to get rid of the agent and have the computer do everything for you. Is that a real threat out there?
I think people will still at the end of the day need someone to essentially hold their hand and guide them, because you want a real person to talk to, and a computer, could sometimes give you errors, obviously. And I think for some people, especially a lot of in the millennial era, they still want someone to talk to and someone to ask advice on. And so even though with all those advertisements, you're going to always get a few people that might be something, but I don't think a real estate agent will ever go away. I think buyers and sellers are a lot more knowledgeable now than ever before, because they have so many tools to do on their own. But at the end of the day, they need a real estate agent to put all of those pieces together for them.
Well said, Melissa. And if I could touch on that as well.
Sure.
This is the largest purchase that most of you at home will ever make, right? It's your house. So we need someone to emotionally and financially consult us through that. And that's the agent. Making those decisions on your own, it's not nearly as comfortable as building a relationship with somebody and maybe working with them through not your first home, but also your second and your third, and having a long-term relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, and so Bethany, the idea of the agent going away, how does that tie into what we're doing with title? I mean, how do you work with a computer instead of an agent trying to get that stuff figured out?
Well, basically, title is technically just an insurance on the property.
Right.
And escrow is just the process. So we're kind of behind the scenes. We're the ones that are supporting the agents. And pretty much, right now, it cannot be computerized, because we still have documents from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, that they're in a file that somebody actually literally has to go pull out that file and scan it in to basically see what's going on the property, what's gone on behind the scenes. So, really right now, there still are so many hands that the paper has to go through before it actually can be insured from property to property. So, as it is right now, title and escrow still have a long way before it can be completely computerized.
Right, but what I was leading to is that if there's an issue with title or escrow, I like having someone to go to and talk to.
Oh, absolutely.
I've had transactions. I do larger transactions, land deals, those type of things, and title's a huge deal on that for me. And if I have a glitch, and I'm just working through a form on a computer, I don't know which box to check to get that fixed. Right. I want someone that's going to go talk to my title person and make that happen. That's where the agent comes in.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So basically, from what you're saying, I know for a fact that Melissa has probably a fantastic team that as she's going out and working with the people, she has a team behind her that if there is a glitch, they're actually they're communicating with themselves, each other. Title is talking to escrow is talking to the lender. We're actually solving the problem, getting all the people behind the scenes, getting all those glitches fixed so that she doesn't have to be in the computer, behind the scenes, actually fixing it with us. She can actually continue with the client, have that hand-holding experience. So it's very, very, very important for an agent who wants to be a top agent like Melissa to actually have a very, very solid team behind her, supporting her so that she can basically be out there with the people.
And just to add on that, I don't think that people know that there is that behind the scenes team, like that you do have lenders and escrow and title, and that all of that has to work smoothly. I think some people think, oh, you make an offer, you get a loan, and it's done. And there's so much, as you know, more to it than that. So it's making the ease of the transaction so that your client, feels that as well.
So in our marketing efforts, is it advisable to somewhat educate potential clients as to why it's okay to pay that higher commission for a real person to walk us through the process?
Oh, absolutely. I've been on many appointments where they've met with other agents that say, oh, I'll do it for this lower price, but you also get lower service. They're typically order takers. They don't follow through, and then they also don't try to get the highest possible price. So it's it's all about selling yourself and your product as well. And just like anything, you could go to a store and get something for half off, but maybe it's not as good. So it's the same type of factor.
And if I can add to that, if you look at an agent who might be doing 4 transactions a year, or maybe they just kind of do it on the side, I mean, you would never go to a heart surgeon who does 1 heart surgery a year and say, hey, can you do my heart surgery? It's actually, while it doesn't sound, it's actually very, very similar. You want a person like Melissa or an agent that you may know that actually this is what they do for a living. And this is something that they have automated behind the scenes, that they have a team to support them, because it is a complicated transaction.
And if I could touch on that.
Well, we're going to have to go to a break, and when we come back, I'll let you chime in on that, Jeff. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries.
This is Finest Women in Real Estate. We'll be right back after this.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
I'm John Ruff, owner of Ruff & Ready Moving and Storage. Wherever you're moving, our team is eager to assist you with all your moving and storage needs. You can count on us to pack and handle your personal belongings with care. We also provide both temporary and long-term storage for your household or office goods. For more information or to schedule a free in-home estimate, visit us at roughandreadymoving.com or call us today. From down the street to across the country, if your move is too tough, call Ruff.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more. Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to Finest Women in Real Estate. I am your host, Steve Matley. Today I'm joined again by Melissa Tucci. I am joined by Bethany Cummins and by Jeff Brogger. And Jeff, you were about to say something right before the break, and I had to cut you off to go to the break, but I want you to finish that thought, please.
Thanks, Steve. So before the break, these two fine women in real estate were talking about the commission rates and working with a realtor that does this all day, every day, and really will care. And what I was going to say is that social media allows the home buyer and the home seller to now see that prior to actually working with a realtor, more so than it's ever been available to them. Right? They can see you working with your team, they can see you doing Facebook Lives, and so that's why it really is such a very important part of moving forward as a real estate agent and title and every other piece of it, because they can see more transparency to the whole picture.
Great, and so we can take what was behind the scenes and put it front and center on the stage. And that really ties into what we were talking about with putting that out on the social media and those digital platforms. So now, we have just a couple minutes left, and I want you to give me in about 30 seconds your absolute best tip that you have from what we've talked about today to a realtor or to the general public. Melissa, what's your best tip?
Okay. I would say do what you're comfortable with. Not everyone's going to be comfortable in the digital space. If you're a total people person, go door knocking. Knock neighborhoods you want to sell in. Do open houses. You don't have to just do all of the high technology, but just know what you're comfortable with, and that will help you be more successful for the future.
Hey, Bethany, what's your best tip?
As a realtor, I think the best thing to do is to do those things consistently. Whatever it is, take the time, whether it is go door knocking, open houses, make sure that it's 10 to noon, noon to 2 every Saturday, and just to keep that consistency and that momentum going. And then if you are a consumer, to make sure you have a very good team to support you in your real estate transaction.
Fantastic. And Jeff, give us your best tip.
So if you're a realtor, play to your strengths. Write down on a piece of paper what you love to do and what you're great at. And once you identify what you still need to do in order to run your business, but you don't necessarily love, outsource it, right? Bring on great people that can help you in those areas.
Okay, fantastic advice from our panel. I want to thank each of our panel for being here. Melissa, thank you for sharing what you had today with the digital and the multimedia, and obviously she's killing it, #1 in California. Bethany, thank you for your input today, talking a little more high tech, a little high touch and interaction, face to face. And I know you actually do events that put people together. I do. That's awesome. Jeff, with his platform that kind of ties it all together, kind of takes the digital, non-personal, and can make it personal by whittling it down. That's awesome. I want to tell everybody out there, do what works for you. The most important thing is don't just sit back and get overwhelmed by all the options. Do what works and think outside of what everybody else is doing and embrace what's fun. Do what's fun. I personally, for some of you that don't like to get out and around, I'm severely introverted personality by nature, and most people would never guess it. Why? Because I forced myself to get out there, talk to people, be interpersonal, and I found out I love it. I enjoy talking to people, and I'd miss out on all this if I did not do that. Don't be afraid to get out there and do something different. This is Finest Women in Real Estate. Don't forget to tune in each and every week, EAN TV, and you won't miss an episode. We have exciting episodes each week on different topics, and we can't wait to see you again.